What's up, everybody? Welcome to Game Moose episode 137. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Turford, alongside the Broccoli Brock McLaughlin.
Broccoli's in the house.
And the ghost with the most, Drew McMillan.
Hello.
And joining us for the second time in person.
Yay!
No, it's not his second appearance on the show. He's been on many shows before. Sean Capri is also here.
Yay, we're all so sweaty together.
Yay.
This is lovely. Hi, guys.
Welcome to
I thought you were going to say we're also excited for you here. I'm not.
Oh, that's really mean.
Yeah, it's
You guys
fucking
are all maybe like fake it.
I know.
For the show, man. That would.
No, I can't fake it,
What
you
normal
know?
people do. Well, all right. I'm happy to be here with Ryan and Drew, man. I'm pumped.
This is the first time we've had Capri on camera.
Yeah, it's true.
So-
Provided the camera actually decided to survive
with our
the
clothes
podcast.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
That's true.
We do have to preface just in case the camera breaks again because it broke when we were trying to record earlier.
And also, it's because all the
This is
loot
not
we
the
got
first
in
take we've
it
done
from our Pornhub channel.
I thought it was just Brock's. It just broke it.
It's called Joysticks.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think of like a gamer-themed porn. Someone's already done that.
Well,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
we should tell people where to find this show, Drew. So you can find this show every single Monday at noon Eastern Standard Time on iTunes, Spreaker, podcast services around the globe. You can also find us on video at game-moose.com/video. If you like what we do, please rate us on your podcast service of choice or review us as well. It goes a long way and it really helps us out. So do all the things with the stuff.
Like and subscribe. And
Like and smash that bell.
Smash
that bell.
Smash the bell.
That's what the Twitch streamers say, right, Sean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're a Twitch streamer. You can say, you know how to say that.
But there's no bell. Although there is a bell. It's
There is a
just,
bell.
You just say
You have to go in the
notifications.
settings, yeah.
It's a different vocabulary.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
What a world we live in, man.
I always wondered what it would be like to sit on this couch and talk about Pornhub with you guys, and now I know.
Yeah.
So thank you
Yeah.
guys. You
Yeah,
cross that off.
it's
You've
very
officially,
real.
Bucket list.
you officially have experienced
It's
that
as
for
weird
yourself.
as I imagined.
Yeah,
At some point, we will talk about video game characters' dicks.
yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Toad has no dick. I've
Yeah.
come to the realization that Toad has a very small penis.
It's a mushroom down there. It's a little mushroom head.
Yeah, like literally a mushroom.
Yeah.
He has like a little fungi growing down there.
How do you know
Absolutely.
about
I wonder if he
this?
calls it his fungi.
Probably. Well, because
Nubbit.
it's just proportions, you know? Like, it's just everything else, like he's big head, everything else is small. It would make sense that.
But he does wear really big pants, so maybe he's hiding something big.
How does he know to be like?
They're
concerned
very
about, like, the
baggy. They're
dots
very
on it?
MC Hammer pants.
Yeah,
They
I'm
are.
really interested in, like, the genetics that's involved there. Like, let's really get into the minutia of the Mushroom Kingdom.
Why?
I wonder
Why?
if there's a Toadette porno.
Wait, maybe do toads
Do you even need to ask that
reproduce
question, Brock?
sexually? Are
Yeah,
there
I know there probably is.
are there female toads?
Yeah, there's
No,
Toadette.
no, Toadette's not female.
What?
The toads are genderless. This is confirmed by Miyamoto.
That makes no
Why
sense.
name her Toadette then?
Yeah, Toadette, and she wears pink.
Clearly-
I
Because
think
she's
that's a
pink.
girl.
That's why they did
Okay.
it.
The
I don't
whole Mushroom Kingdom is completely fucked.
Yeah,
Mario isn't a human.
They're kind of like the Smurfs.
It's just really fucking weird.
yeah.
Remember
Like they are.
Smurfette? Smurfette only existed
Were you
because
just talking
of
about the Smurfs?
No.
We were just talking about,
I was talking about the Smurfs.
I'm
The
like,
Smurfs are great.
Oh.
yeah.
I'm sure
Alright.
someone mentioned the Smurfs at some point.
But Smurfette only exists because of Gargamel's magic.
It's
He
true.
created Smurfette to bewitch the Smurfs.
Bewitch.
Yeah.
That's real Smurf lore for you.
Yeah. I go deep.
That's Smurfing good lore,
Yeah.
one would say.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's a good callback.
On today's show, we're going to talk about some more announcements trickling out of the end of Gamescom that we didn't cover on last week's show, including some crazy HD remakes that I never thought we would ever see the light of day. We're also going to talk about Fan Expo. 'Cause
Yes.
That's a thing that's going on.
Uh,
But first, we do have to start the show on a bit of a somber note. After Drew and I recorded last week's episode, and you might have seen this from the note from the podcast description from last week, there was a shooting in Jacksonville, Florida at a Madden tournament. It happened just as we were coming out of the podcast last week. So Drew, tell us all about it.
well, I mean, we're still light on details in terms of like what exactly transpired. All we know is that during a Madden tournament at it's a pizzeria, I believe, in Jacksonville, Florida, there was a Madden tournament that was happening. People were watching the Twitch stream, and you know, people, for those who were alive, there was someone drew a weapon and started firing at people. I'm not sure what the circumstances are.
Mm-hmm.
The person who fired at people and I believe killed 2 people and injured a number of other people. He was a confirmed participant.
He was
at the Madden tournament. I believe he's from Buffalo, New York. And beyond that, I don't know if there was like an altercation or if this was, some kind of attack. I don't know what he was motivated by. I don't know if that's in the news yet.
I think he lost early. I think he was expecting to go a little farther.
He did.
Lost early and went home or went to wherever he was staying.
His hotel room, or
grabbed
maybe
his gun, came back.
And was very, and so, I mean, obviously this person was unhappy with what was going on, and
but prepared to be unhappy.
Because
not to make light of it,
he brought a pistol.
He had a pistol with him.
He traveled with a pistol, which is interesting.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
How did that get there? Unless he drove down.
He might have.
I'm pretty. I don't know. I mean,
these are just details we just don't have.
Yeah,
did he get it free with his Slurpee? Like,
yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Firearm laws in the United States, like ownership laws, are a lot different than they are here. Like for us, like we don't have a concept of that. Like it's difficult for us to understand to even move a gun around. It legally has to be in a locked container in Canada.
Well, also in the States too, it's different than here because here gun laws are federal.
Federal, yes.
Whereas in the States, they're state by state.
Yeah, they're state by state.
Laws.
Yeah.
So they have different regulations in different states.
And Florida famously has very loose firearm regulations. So I'm not sure if they have a 2-day waiting period, but it exists as a possibility that he could have even purchased the pistol when he was in Florida. I'm sure that's not without the realms of impossibility, but we're speculating. We don't know for certain. The point is that there was a mass shooting at a game, specifically at a video game event, and it really affected the community, and people were understandably very upset. And the most recent thing that I heard now is that one of the participants who was injured is suing both EA, the mall, and the venue that this took place in, saying that they didn't maintain like a safe space for people in terms of just like minimum security. And a lot of people I know were asking, well, what could they have done? This was like an unforeseen event. And I think the suggestion now is that they want people that, like, if you're going to have a large crowded space, there's going to be some onus for the venue and and whoever's organizing the event to have some form of security. Like, when I went to Fan Expo, which is like, there's like thousands of people there, my bag was inspected. I had exhibitor passes and they still search everything. Right. Yeah. Like, so I had like the highest security sort of clearance in the thing. Like, I walked behind where all the celebrities were and stuff like that. Like, I could go anywhere I wanted, but they still searched my bag on the way in. It was still all broadcast gear and stuff like that. Like, it wasn't like they had any, like, it was a broadcast like bag, but regardless, they still did that. And I think that the expectation is going to be more and more. And this is just sort of like, as esports grows in this sort of way, there's going to be sort of more formalization. Somebody mentioned also that, like, hey, I go to like Smash tournaments where like it's like 60 people crowded in a room, like in like a
that's what I'm disappointed about, is that like it sort of takes away from like the fun nature of like, let's just all get a whole bunch of people, whether we know them or not. Like, let's just be joined by video games and have a good time, and something pushed this dude over the edge. It's gonna have to, like, now we have to follow by like the lowest common denominator rule, instead of just like, we've been doing this for how long? Like, game tournaments have been, or sanctioned events, or big things have happened forever. It's the same as like going to a movie. Like, we have to worry about going to a movie because the Batman thing happened. Like, was it The Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah.
That one, that's really is the. I mean, obviously, the loss of life is ultimately the worst thing about this.
Right.
But as things go on, it's just like these events sort of kind of change our trajectory on how we approach fun things like this.
It puts ripples through the community. Yeah. To be fair, if there were some other kind of tragedy, like when I think about things like there was that the Great Big White or whatever, I can't remember the name of the band, where they had that venue that wasn't properly didn't have proper fire exits, and a lot of people died as a consequence of that. Like, I think video games, like, we could easily have seen something like that happen at like an esports tournament as well, and have to deal with that. So, like, we're just, I think the whole thing is going to have to grow up a little bit. You're going to have to realize that if you are organizing an event that has like 30 plus people in it, that you do have some responsibility to make sure that those people are safe. Whether or not that would have affected what happened in Jacksonville, whether or not, having security, checking bags and so on would have made a difference. I can't say that, but what I can say is that there will be an expectation that you maintain the same minimum safety standards that you would find at other large events and large venues and so on. So it's fucked. I feel really awful for all of the people that were directly involved, the people who were there on the day, like that's going to live with them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And then the ripples throughout the community. Because again, there's lots of people that play video games, both like professionally and cover games professionally. And then people who love the sport. And it's just like, it just affects everybody. You know, this, like the whole community felt this one. So that's why I wanted to talk about it.
Cool. It's hard to segue out of that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry for like, this is like the third week in a row we started as on a fucking bummer.
I know.
Yeah.
It hasn't been a good couple weeks for sure for the gaming community, but there have been some good things coming out of the gaming community at least so far. But anyways, let's move on.
Yeah.
Drew.
Yeah.
Brock. Y'all went to this thing called Fan Expo.
Yeah.
That's happening this weekend in Toronto.
Yeah. Brock, why don't you tell us? You went first.
I wanted to involve Brock. He's like half asleep over here.
Yeah.
I'm not half asleep. I'm just chilling. What
was your experience like? You went on what, Friday?
No, I went on Thursday. And Friday.
So that was the first day. Thursday was the first day, and it's a half day, right?
Yeah.
No, it was full.
Oh, they did a full day on Thursday this year.
Like it didn't start at 11, but I got there at 2, and it was fucking packed. There was a 4-hour late to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Wow.
Yeah, I played. I don't know. Kingdom Hearts 3 is good, but I wouldn't wait that much in line. I know it's gonna be delayed
again. What about
again,
that Smash
but you know,
line, though, because I kept seeing pictures of the Smash line was like all the way around the building.
Yeah,
I have no idea. Sean and I played Smash on the Friday night at a Nintendo event, and it's a Smash game.
Here's my recommendation: if you guys ever think that you want to just go wait in line for 4 hours to play Smash for the Switch, fire up your Wii U, fire up your 64, whatever your Wii. Go play a different Smash. You will be just as satisfied, which is like both a good and ridiculous thing all at the same time.
There was only 2 new characters there, so you could play as Ridley, who I destroyed you guys as.
It was totally OP. Ridley and Twin Girl. Yeah, not even fair.
Ridley is stupid overpowered.
So King K. Rool wasn't there?
No. There's a bunch of new levels, I think, but like it was just the same. I mean, it's a Smash game, and I think we're all kind of on the we're really not big Smash fans.
Yeah.
Well, Brock and I walked away from it what I don't know what that was supposed to do for us. Like, were we supposed to be pumped about it because it was like not all the characters, right? So the ones that you might be excited to see come back, weren't really there for us to see.
Okay, so like nothing like Snake or anything like that either.
Well, Snake was there, I guess.
Oh,
Snake was there.
Well, he's like one of the ones we're very excited.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Maybe,
I played as the Ice Climbers again. I remember how annoying they are.
No Simon Belmont.
No. Just Ridley, who's super OP.
Yeah,
wow.
I think
it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's absolutely ridiculous. You can get like 200% on him, and he still won't go down. And then I walked through the PlayStation thing, so I did Dreams finally.
Oh yeah, I saw Dreams. We'll talk.
It wasn't in VR, which is weird. They only had the.
Well, to be fair, it's not really being marketed as a VR game. Like the VR stuff that they showed from it was like the original.
I thought it was being marketed as a VR game.
No. It's very much not a VR game because it was the original tech demo from Dreams was shown at VR at like the PlayStation VR reveal, but it was never really meant to be a VR game. It's very much a PS4
that out as wide as possible.
It's a really weird game.
As someone who's been following Dreams like ever since it was announced, like it was never really ever marketed as a VR game.
It's like Mario Maker.
We don't even know if it's even going to be a VR game.
Like,
we don't even know if Dreams is like 100% going to be like it'll have a VR mode, but we don't even know if VR is even the focus of that game because we know you can do everything in the game without VR.
It's not.
Yeah.
Dreams is this weird game that like some people are either like voting or like hoping that it does horribly versus like maybe just not expecting it to be really great. So it has like this weird chance to completely wow us when it comes out because like none of us really understand what to expect from it.
There's a story mode.
I mean,
that was weird. I played part of that. That was not.
It's hard to
fun.
do everything though. That's what I get from it. Is that it's all these things. So like what? So if it's everything, what exactly is it? It's hard to kind of like.
Yeah.
Also, like look at the pedigree of this game, right? Like,
sure.
Little Big played it. Mm-hmm. I hate Little Big
so
Planet. I fucking hate Little Big Planet.
I mean, I don't know.
I really like Little Big Planet. I think it's awesome. I love that. I'm hard for Sackboy.
As a fan of really good 2D platformers, I'm also in the same boat as you guys. I don't really like Little Big Planet.
I like it's floaty and weird and imprecise.
I don't like jumping between the two like level,
the foreground
and the background.
Yeah.
Like I like the characters and the aesthetic of Little Big Planet, and I like the level editor and Little Big Planet. You can make cool stuff.
It is charming as fuck. It's so charming.
But yeah, the platforming is very floaty, and that's the worst thing about it.
No, it's not for me.
I also played my game of the year for sure.
Oh, no.
Trevor Saves the World, which is the Justin Roiland from Rick and Morty game.
Oh, that's right.
And I took an edible before playing that and played for about a half an hour, and it was honestly the funniest game I've ever played.
Yeah,
if you like Rick and Morty, it's right up there. Morty is the bad guy in the game. He's like your landlord, and he has little babies growing out of his eyes, and you can throw the little babies out of his eyes. It's very weird. There's also a lot of like Rick and Morty cameos, like just in the demo. My favorite part is like when you get to the end, they recorded like dialogue and shot like some footage just for Toronto Comic Con where he tells everyone there to go fuck themselves, and it's really funny.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I did that, and the Xbox booth didn't have any new games I haven't played. I think they got The Division 2. They were supposed to.
I didn't have any time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going between streaming and appointments. I did not have any time.
Forza wasn't there. I found really weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
Since
Even
like,
PAX, I'm hearing.
Lots of
People are playing it over at PAX.
Yeah, that's what I heard,
Metro's on playable PAX too.
lots of PUBG at the Xbox booth though.
So much PUBG.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a new game. People haven't played it before.
Yeah, 1.0 comes out.
I mean, it's going to actually be a real game this year. We can finally vote for it for Game of the Year, guys.
Guess what? We won't.
Yeah.
It could be a thing.
It's so no sad. Fortnite, man.
Fortnite's still not a real game yet.
The Fortnite booth at PAX looked amazing. They had a mini golf setup and everything. There wasn't anything like that here.
Well, it's Fan Expo.
Yeah.
We usually don't get cool stuff.
I'm trying to think what else. That was about it.
We got cool stuff, just different stuff.
Well, yeah, but just not like a mini golf course at Fan Expo.
You'll see.
Blizzard's got
Blizzard
one game.
Blizzard has Diablo and Switch,
Yeah.
which is exactly
You
like
can
Blizzard
also play-
on console.
You can also play World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth and get a cool Warcraft pin for playing.
I mean, you could.
Huh?
Yeah, you
That might be the first time I ever played.
Yeah, see, there you go.
That might be the first time I ever played.
You keep telling me that Chelsea wants to start playing, and you're going to get dragged into it, Sean. And you're
I
going to be
like
one
it,
of
man.
us.
I'm into it.
You're going to be
I'm
one of
into
us soon. Drew, we're converting Brock.
I'm not playing WoW.
Sean to a WoW version.
Okay.
I want to try. I'm trying to eliminate all these like gaps in my gaming.
I'm very excited about that.
I played it. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate most MMOs.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, MMO,
That's a
not
hard
for me.
stance.
No.
It's a hard no. It's
Yeah.
a hard no.
Eminem, no.
Yeah.
MM, forget about it.
Yeah, and that's it. I think there was nothing else that was new.
So, Drew, what did you play?
All right. So here was my experience at Fan Expo. It was very interesting. I did not go on Thursday or Friday. I went on Saturday. The thing runs all weekend.
Yeah, because it's 4 days.
It is 4 days. I went down and I streamed with our friends at Xbox Canada. So I played Destiny 2. And it did not go as planned.
Oh no.
Did the servers break like I anticipated they would?
No, everything was fine on the Destiny end. The problem was that I had to play on a gamer tag that had 0 Destiny 2 progression.
Oh, so you had to start over.
The first 40 minutes of my hour and 15-minute live stream was me playing the very first mission and the tutorial and the whole like the slow walking where you don't have any powers part, which is
But that part's so good.
it's not good
It
at
has
all.
that cool spot before the doors lock.
It's
It's
got-
got just like waves of enemies. That's kind of fun. Right?
It's got some awesome music.
Yeah, the music is good actually.
It does, but like the whole like when you're walking through the mountains and you don't have any powers and it's just really slow and there's those awkward fades to black.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like that, but they've completely polished the engine again. At least the visuals for Forsaken, because that patch is hit, and it looks even better. And then they've redone a bunch of the models especially for the Fallen, that look really, really good. I did play long enough that I got out of the tutorial and I could jump into Gambit right away with like a level 2 character who's like 20 light, and people kept dropping on me.
Yeah.
But at least I got a sense of how it worked and what was going on there. And I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. Number one, it's a very good mode.
Okay.
It's a lot of
I'm
fun.
hearing good things from other
It
people.
is really, really good. The whole combination of player versus environment, player versus player kind of element. So the idea is that you're fighting waves of bad guys in kind of a horde mode kind of way, but it's all about how fast you can kill them. I wouldn't expect that they would like kill you very often. Dying is really, really bad because when you kill an enemy, they drop a mote, which is like, they drop a token or whatever, essentially, that you have to pick up. And there's some really cool lore stuff there. What the mote is, what it represents is very interesting. And the Drifter gives away some lore stuff that they're going to unveil in the... So if you're a big Destiny like story nerd like I am, ooh, there's some juicy stuff. Something's back. Yeah. I don't want to spoil it, but
let's just say it probably won't come to Destiny 3. I mean, they don't like putting any information in their games.
That's true. That's fair.
At least you don't have to go to the Bungie website to go read about that.
Yes, no, and
not yet.
The Drifter has a lot of voiceover while you're playing, and he'll tell you where the bad guys are spawning. So this would be like, Cabal in the trees, Cabal in the ruins, and you have to go over there. You fight waves. You collect these tokens. You take the tokens back to your token pit, and the more you save up, the more it fucks with the other team on the quote unquote other side. You're not in the same arena together. So if you deposit 3 tokens, 3 motes, then it's like it spawns like a blocker on the other side, exactly. And you can't put any motes into your thing while the blocker is there. So you have to kill them, and you don't get any tokens for killing the blocker, right? So there's this whole risk reward thing of like, because if you die while you're holding motes, you lose all of them.
Yeah.
So you want to save up as many as you can so you can put a big blocker out there and slow them down, but at the same time, you don't want to risk dying and losing them all. And
that sounds awesome, man. That's something I can wrap my head around too. Yeah. Like a lot of these new modes, I'm just like, I can't even understand it. That sounds perfect. It's also like Tetris a little bit. Yeah. You can try and build something up and you get the nice like five lines. You're like, fuck them up.
Get the true Tetris.
Gotta get the Tetris.
So it's got that going on. And then the added layer to that is every once in a while a portal will spawn. And you can invade the other player's side. So you can go over there and fuck with their shit. So one player can go over and start messing with the other 4 players and start killing them. So like what I would do is I'd save up my super, and as soon as the portal was open, I'd go to the other side and just like Hulk start smashing, killing them. And it would really fuck their shit up. Yeah. And it was really, really good. I had a lot more fun when I got home and I played it with my high level character than I did while I was on the Xbox.
Can I ask you a stupid question?
Yeah.
As a dum-dum in Destiny?
Yeah.
Destiny dum-dum. Do I have to buy the other expansions to do the Forsaken? Is there like, well, how do I do this? Because I'm like back into it.
If you
don't get fooled, Sean, it's a trap. No, the game sucks dick. The game sucks.
Hey, Brock, high five.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's terrible.
You guys can do your other
We got how many days of enjoyment out of it? One day?
Hey,
dude,
one full day?
I at least like 8 hours.
I had a whole week.
Man.
Whole week. Just as much enjoyment as No Man's Sky.
I'm still not raid ready, so I still got stuff to do in Destiny, like vanilla Destiny too. So
yeah, so if you haven't purchased any expansions, the thing that probably is worth your while is buying the digital collectors, which includes, I can't remember how it's packaged
like
out.
The Legendary Edition. It comes with the 2 expansions and then Forsaken.
And Forsaken as well. Like financially, that's the best way to, because you do need the other expansions to play Forsaken.
Do I have to play through any of that stuff to take advantage of any of this stuff?
I don't know. I know you can play. So
why wouldn't I?
Confirmed, you can play Gambit at like the lowest level.
Okay.
Right. Like I played Gambit like literally as soon as I finished the tutorial. Like the first chunk of the Destiny 2 story is you fight through the whole tower invasion thing. You lose all your powers, and then you go to the Shard of the Traveler and get your powers back.
Yeah.
And then you get launched into the director, and that's when you can start choosing. And I could already choose Gambit at that point.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
And actually, they have confirmed you don't need to play through the other 2 expansion stuff. It's going to work like Taken King, where essentially there will be a mission when the servers turn on for Forsaken that will just pop up on your radar.
And also, when you do buy that, it gives you a level character.
But are you going to play? Like, I don't want to buy a character.
Yeah, I'm playing. Okay, there's no doubt.
Drew is in it.
I've been playing Warmind for the last month. Like I've been playing a lot.
Sweet. Okay.
But Drew, all the games are about to come out, and you're in Destiny.
I know. That is the game that I want to play.
There's like good games coming out in September you can play.
And,
I don't know what other games in September.
Spider-Man.
Tomb Raider.
I've got the console.
Tomb Raider's not my thing. It's never been my thing.
I don't like the.
I'll be like the one person here playing it because I'm really excited.
Tomb Raider. I think
that's like the game for September I'm most excited about.
I'll wait for
Valkyria Chronicles is also coming in September.
So the other game that I do want to talk about. So the other thing that I had a really great experience with is as soon as I finished doing my stream and playing Gambit, was that I had to run over to the WB booth.
Sweet.
Where they had a bunch of cool stuff going on. They had some like they were doing an Injustice tournament and stuff like that. But I got to go play Hitman 2, which is the sequel to Hitman, which was kind of like the reboot for Hitman, the episodic Hitman. It is not the original Hitman 2, which was the thing that really got me into Hitman like 10 years ago. So I got to play some Hitman 2. I played the Miami level, which is a lot of fun, and I got to interview Clemens Koch, who's like the community manager over at Hitman 2 with IO Interactive, and I did an audio interview. I did an audio interview on the floor of Fan Expo, and there's lots of loud music and shit, and like crowds of hundreds of people. I don't know if the audio is going to be any good. I tried my best.
You weren't able to tame them.
No, I was like, hey, everybody be quiet. Turn that music down. We're recording a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to listen to it. Like that was like yesterday late afternoon.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully it's good. If it is, you'll hear the interview here live on the podcast stream. I'll make a special side ops episode. And if it isn't, then I'll just transcribe it.
If not, we can just reenact it if you want.
Yeah.
Like I can be.
Either way.
Clemens Koch.
Clemens Koch, great name. I'll just like you let me know what he said, and I'll just we'll recreate it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
documentary style.
Put on.
He has like a mild German accent.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah.
So the point of this though is that Hitman 2 looking real good.
Yeah.
It's more Hitman, which is exactly what you want. Like I feel like they've got like the gameplay and the and sort of like the loop of it down. It's just like it's all about the environments and what new environments they can throw at you and in different ways. So this one was really neat. This one, the whole premise of this is that it's at like a racing event, like it's an F1 racing event. So yeah, this is microphone. It's technology.
Just flopped.
There's a floppy natural over here.
Thought ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, this one's at like a racing event, and you're there to kill a driver. So like you can make it look like an accident, so that the car explodes, or
what did he do?
Probably something bad.
Maybe.
And the last Hitman, they tell you like they usually give you background as to why you're killing these people, and they're usually very bad people. Like in Hitman, the last Hitman in the Myanmar level where you go to the hotel, you have to kill a pop star, and he like murdered his girlfriend, and you're hired by his family to kill him because he managed to escape justice because he's like a billionaire pop star. Yeah. So like there's like they managed to like justify it a little bit.
Two questions I have for you, Drew.
Yeah.
Number one, what was the motivation for killing Gary Busey? Was he just an awful human being, or how does that work?
It's Gary fucking Busey, dude. Like,
but he's awesome.
We don't need to explain this.
He fought the Predator with like a freeze gun in a butcher shop. It's great.
That was make believe.
Number two. Number two. I saw you.
Never happened.
It happened in my reality. Okay. Number two. Second question for you. I saw you post some pictures of you get to wear really awesome outfits in this game.
Yes. Yeah. So I actually asked Clemens about this. I'm like, that was one of my favorite parts of the last one is like the different costumes that you can take on. And then of course, every once in a while there was like a really silly one, like there's a clown one and a few others.
Clowns are scary, man.
Yeah. Clowns are scary. And this one, there is a mascot that you can steal the mascot costume
really
of. And it's a big flamingo. It's a big pink flamingo. Sweet. So how I sort of like ended my gameplay thing was because I didn't want to, they only had like a couple of like pre-alpha build kiosks there. So I didn't want to take up too much time because it was there for the public. And so I was goofing around at a certain point, and I was just like, what's going to happen when I just like, I grab a chef's knife and just start stabbing people at random in this costume. And I started doing it, and I was like, this is really funny. And people are running around screaming. And I'm like, oh, this is actually really dark.
For science.
Like, yeah, this is really fucked up. So like I was just stabbing people, just shanking people one after the other in this like crowded restaurant at this like crowded racing event.
Also, you're playing in front of people.
Yeah.
So it's weird to be like it's one thing to like do these weird things when you're playing by yourself.
Yeah.
And, like kind of fulfill those weird fantasies that you may or may not have.
That's not true. I'm comfortable being evil all the time, Sean.
I guess if you have like a lot of people, I think just playing games in front of other people is awkward anyways. Like no matter what, like you're trying to like sit there and evaluate the game. Or like get a sense of like what it's about, or even you mentioned calling out some details in testing. Like I think that's pretty amazing actually because it's difficult to do. Like it's a strange experience. For sure.
Yeah. So it's and especially there where there's like hundreds of people go by. And again, I felt bad because it was the only kiosk, and I didn't want Hitman especially is if you're playing it quote unquote in a particular way, if you're playing it the right way, it's about patience, right? It's about like observing people and taking your time and doing things at the right time and stuff like that. And it's not really best suited for like getting in line and trying to play a slice of it.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic game. Don't get me wrong.
When's
I'm
it
really
coming out?
excited. I can't remember.
It's late November.
Yeah,
I think
it's this fall.
Yeah.
I don't remember the date.
It's around, I think it's the week after Pokemon.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. That'll be fun.
And it looks really great. They're not doing an episodic because WB is publishing and not
Thank
Square Enix
God.
anymore. I did mention
Do
though,
you
like
think that's good?
I think it's good that it's not episodic yet.
I think part of it was like, and I talked to him, I said, like, you guys made the best of a bad situation when I talked to Clemens about it, because the reality was that they didn't intend to launch it that way, but they stuck to a schedule, which was really awesome. And what it did was it really highlighted the live content. Like the environments in Hitman are really, 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 really filled with tons of detail.
Mm-hmm.
And they really come to life when you have an opportunity to really like look at that detail and explore the depth of those things. Because if you could go in and just kill one character or to do one contract in a particular area, you don't get to really appreciate what's going on there. Like you don't realize that like, oh, like the Italy level, there's a whole other part of it that's not just the Sapienza. There's a whole part of the town and not just the villa or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, like it forced you, because you only had access to so many environments at a given time, it forced you to stay focused on those and really see what the depth was in them. Mm-hmm. And I said, so what are you guys doing this time? And they said they're doing those elusive target things more and they're rotating them around more. Mm-hmm. So it's going to force you again to spend more time going back and exploring those levels and seeing the detail and seeing corners of them that you wouldn't have seen otherwise.
Yeah. Because I think that's probably like a smarter model than doing the episodic thing.
Yeah.
Then it feels like a live service game, but it's not.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And that's exactly and that's how it feels right now if you buy the Hitman Collection.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Then I met with a bunch of cosplayers. I took a ton of photos. We're going to have a whole cosplay gallery on the website. This
is the first I've heard about this.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm excited.
I took like 400 photos.
I'm a big fan of cosplay, so
yeah.
I'm excited.
So there's a bunch in there. I took my favorite.
Is a good diva.
Yeah. I can see
make
that.
a really good diva.
Nerf this.
Yeah.
I show my tits.
Skin tight outfit.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, man, like there are some people there that are like bearing some skin that I would not have the courage to ever do in my entire life. But that's what
they were in the property they're trying to cosplay as.
In some cases it is, in some cases it's not.
Yeah.
Like I saw a guy who was cosplaying as the Jason Momoa Aquaman, and he literally just had like very, very, very tiny shorts, and then like the tattoos like were all like airbrushed on. And it was just like, was
he a handsome man?
He was very, very handsome, super ripped. Obviously did a full body wax for that situation. And I was like, whoa. I saw a nice lady. She was cosplaying as Cammy, and she was wearing like a latex kind of suit. Like and it was very abundantly clear that she also did a lot of waxing to make that happen. And I was like, I don't have that. Like, I would like to wear a costume at a show one day. I mean, I have my Jedi costume that I enjoy wearing time to time.
Maybe do Zangief sometime.
Yeah, just do Zangief.
Well, I mean, when I used to cosplay, because I used to cosplay like at every Fan Expo, because I used to go to Fan Expo every year.
Yeah.
I would always gravitate towards characters with lots of clothing.
Yeah.
So then I never had this problem.
Right.
Like, for example, I was Kai Kisuke from Guilty Gear one year, or I was Jalal from Fairy Tail another year, and their characters with lots of clothing.
Right.
So.
Are these games?
Well, one's an anime, Fairy Tail's an anime, Guilty Gear is a game.
Right.
Yeah. Guilty Gear is also an anime, let's be real.
Well, it's a visual novel / fighting game, okay?
Right.
It's anime.
I like anime, leave me alone.
It's anime. Yeah. So I was super busy, met a bunch of really cool people, had a lot of fun, bumped into a bunch of like John Scar was there, and Dapper Tux was
so he streamed right before you.
He streamed before me. AJ Fry was live commentating the whole PUBG tournament that was happening there. The Sony booth was massive. The Nintendo booth was like crazy crowded. They had a giant DK tie and a big Kirby hammer there. The Blizzard booth was interesting. For some reason, the Space Channel had laser tag.
Because why not?
I don't know.
Gotta have laser tag.
They were advertising Killjoys, the show that was recently canceled. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
You said it's last season. They're
Yeah,
like doing one big bang.
Yeah.
It's trending right now on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like there's much more stuff to do though than there used to be at Fan Expo. Because again, when I used to go to Fan Expo all the time, it was like there was a lot less to do. It was a lot more about buying things than there was about seeing booths and doing things.
They are better. There's a better balance of like activity now.
Yeah.
Like I went to what was Toronto Comic Con like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And it was just basically everything shit for sale. Like
it was just a shopping mall.
Yeah.
You pay to go there to go shop for things.
You paid to go shopping.
That's weird.
It was super bizarre. But Fan Expo, there's a lot more. The Dragon Ball booth was nuts. Did you see the Dragon Ball booth?
No, man. We went in after, so it was like
there's a Dragon Ball booth.
Yeah, it's the same one I've seen at Toy Fair in New York.
Yeah, they had a giant Shenlong dragon suspended from the ceiling, and they had like Goku and Vegeta and Frieza statues.
See, that's awesome.
It was pretty nuts.
I'm missing out. I missed the Dragon Ball booth.
Yeah. Next year we'll do something. And the crazy thing is, I live down the street from Fan Expo. Mm-hmm. I'm real close to Fan Expo. So
yeah. Well, I mean, we're not too far even from the studio here. We're like a 20-minute train ride.
Yeah.
So.
I'm a 5-minute walk.
Yeah.
Like
true.
I have no excuse. So
you have
a 5-hour flight.
Yeah. What are you doing, man?
I know.
Yeah. What are you doing, Sean?
I should be here more often.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's true.
Next year.
Although actually, it might have been cheaper for you to go to PAX instead of Fan Expo.
Chelsea and I were talking about that today. Actually,
Yeah.
we might be going to PAX next year at some point.
Yeah,
So.
It's just they're usually not the same weekend. It's just weird that this year they just happen to both be this weekend.
Yeah.
It's like when I went to PAX, used to go to PAX and Fan Expo when they were like separate weeks. Mm-hmm. So it's weird that they're both the same week.
I made the mistake of wearing a polyester shirt and I'm sweating to death here.
See?
It's so hot.
How do we stop sweating?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not offensive.
I showered.
Okay, well, that's step one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job.
I mean, this shirt has never been washed before. So it probably
You
smells.
should get on that.
There you go.
I'm ready against washing my clothes.
I was very smelly by the end of the day yesterday. It was real hot.
Welcome to a convention.
Well, no, it was real hot outside and inside.
Yeah.
Like my red Destiny Titan t-shirt was soaked with sweat by the time I got home, and my girlfriend was like, "You stank." And like, it takes a lot for me to get to that point. I was like, all the clothes off, into the shower immediately.
Now,
yeah, it was bad.
Drew, imagine yourself going to the same event with the same level of heat, but wearing a trench coat with a long sleeve shirt underneath that, with a t-shirt underneath that, and then long pants.
This is why I don't cosplay.
This is what happens when you cosplay.
So I
did get made.
I did something similar to that when I went to to Disney World years ago, where I cosplayed as a Jedi. So it was at Disney World in Florida in October, and they were having record heat. And it was like the middle of the night, and I was just like drenched in sweat. Like even though like
I don't think I've ever seen a Jedi sweat before.
You would have that day, my friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Force keeps them not sweaty.
Yeah,
No,
it's a force power. Yeah.
That's not true. I think Qui-Gon Jinn is sweat before.
No. Nope.
I think I've read. That's one of my memories from the Phantom Menace.
They went swimming, and then they came out of Phantom Menace, and they were all dry.
They're dry.
They force dried.
I mean, they had that cool sub though.
It's like when you finish a car wash and they give you all the blow dryers all at once.
Exactly.
That's what happens.
Precisely.
This is a great segue into what we've been playing. So we're gonna go down the couch here. We're gonna start with Brock. Brock, what have you been playing? And I know there's something you can't really talk about.
What do you think of it? No, I can talk about. I finished Spider-Man. The reveal will be up tomorrow.
Ooh.
So Tuesday.
Yeah.
When you're hearing this. So that'll. I can't say anything more than that.
Yeah.
I just checked.
I know we
embargo.
can. Yeah.
But I'm playing Fortnite still.
What? Do you play Fortnite?
Also, I downloaded Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, I bought Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah,
So when it's number one on the charts again, it's because of my sale.
It was number 2 last month, only to Project Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, it was $20 on the Xbox. I didn't have an Xbox, so I decided to buy it.
It's good on you to give it the Brock bump.
Yeah, you know, I really wanted to give them that. I haven't played it yet. I played a lot of shitty games, but mostly Fortnite. We're in week 8 here.
Yeah.
Next week's update is high stakes and the costumes look amazing. There's like adding a casino or something. Something's coming with a lot of moolah, which I'm very excited for.
Right.
It looks like a Payday version of Fortnite.
That's your favorite game in the whole wide world to boot. So
Everyone
there
loves
you go.
Payday.
No, Payday's the worst game ever. Also, Payday just added a ton of stuff, and apparently there's like really deep lore to Payday that I didn't know about.
Yeah, that's
So if you wanna read a really kooky, extremely long, like 3,000 words article about Payday, go to Kotaku.
Sweet.
There you go.
That's what I've been missing this whole time. That's why I didn't jump in.
Also, don't play Payday. It's the worst.
Especially on
the
Switch.
game is not that good.
Yeah. Sean, what about you? What have you been playing?
I've been playing Octopath, man.
Thank God. Someone else besides me here has played it.
Yes, I love it. I played like the first 20 hours of both Bravely Default and Bravely Second and never really got past any of that. I anticipate I'll probably have a similar journey with Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
And kind of hit a point where I'm like, I'll probably have to move on.
You mean like how I'm at the 60-hour mark and I don't think I'm ever going to go back to it?
You think like it's almost like an arcade game where it's not actually designed to be finished. There's just like there to kick the crap out of you about midway through.
Well, just so you know, and quick spoilers, not spoiling the story, but spoiling how Octopath works. When you finish one of the characters' chapter 4s, because each character has a chapter 4, it rolls credits. So you can consider that the end of the game if you want.
Oh, I can just race to that. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm loving it, man. Like it's my listen to a podcast, like do another thing. It's like just
it's your chill game.
It is, and I've been kind of wanting that for a little bit. So I don't know, man. And then there's not really. The one thing is that it's keeping me away from a lot of other like great indies that are coming out right now, like Dead Cells and The Messenger just came out that I definitely want to pick up.
I'll talk about that in a second.
Oh, sweet. Well.
No,
that's pretty much it, man. I just and by this point, like I'm late to the game on Octopath, so everybody's kind of talked it to death. I feel like at this point, but I'm new to it and I'm digging it, man. It's pretty sweet.
Nice. Drew, dare I ask?
I played something else.
Did you play something besides Destiny?
I did. I played. What's that game called? It's like an indie game. Something Cactus something.
You got to give me more than that.
Cactus Assault Android.
Yeah, Cactus Assault Android. It's like a weird like. I'm gonna say it's almost like Geometry Wars.
Yeah.
It's like a top down. It's a twin stick kind of like dual stick shooter, right? So it's like that. It is what it is. It's fun. It's goofy.
It's Game Pass, right?
Yes.
Or was it Games with Gold? Anyway,
one of the two.
Yeah, we have it for free.
We have all of the things. I have all the subscriptions. So sometimes you don't stop to evaluate what it is. It's just like, oh, I have this. Okay. Mm-hmm. It was fun. It's really goofy.
Yeah.
It's got like this like super deformed kind of thing with like really goofy dialogue that I skipped most of. And then just shot robots, which is what you do in that game.
Sweet.
And then I played a lot of Destiny too.
Very nice.
Getting ready for Forsaken, getting on that grind.
You're literally this is like what I was a month ago for World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth. You're in that phase.
Yeah, I am. I did not. It comes out on Tuesday, so I'm really excited. I did not play. I did not do the Solstice shit because I found that like really that grind was like super aggravating. There are some grinds that I tolerate. I'm enjoying playing Crucible right now. They just changed how weapons work in the game again. So it's a little confusing. Mm-hmm. Here's how it goes. You're back to having like a primary, secondary slot and a heavy slot. Mm-hmm. It used to be that heavy slot was like the special slot. So it could be rocket launcher, sniper rifle, shotgun, whatever. Now we're back to the heavy slot is just for heavy stuff. It's swords, rocket launchers, grenade launchers. Things like your fusion rifles can now go in your secondary slot. Things like there's some shotguns. If shotguns are kinetic, they can go in your primary slot. So it is possible for, as some people have mentioned, to have a shotgun loadout because there are also heavy shotguns.
Sweet.
The heavy shotguns, there's only a handful of them though. So like basically how it works is if a gun in its little portrait points to the left, it goes in your first slot. And if the gun points to the right, it goes in your secondary slot. And if it's a rocket launcher or anything like that, it goes in your heavy slot, which is a little confusing because I think you would have, I don't know if there are any primary sniper rifles, but there are, for example, they say like most energy weapons will go in your secondary slot, but things like hard light, which is an assault rifle, goes in your primary slot and is an energy weapon. So I think it just seems to be that like the rule is what I said it was. But like exotics are the things that break the rule, and the exotics are the things that make it. It seems confusing. And to be fair, I was really annoyed by it. I had a big fight with my friend Tom about it. He's like, "No, it's easy. You should have read the patch note." And I'm like I shouldn't have to read the fucking patch notes.
It was perfect with it when it started.
Honestly, the system is better. My problem is how they communicate it in game. It's not like they said like, "Oh, hey, here's what's up." Like,
it's just different.
It would be. Like if they could have somehow like put like a little like a little 1, 2, and 3 in the corner of them, or color code them or something, because it also doesn't like the type of ammunition they use. There's there's white, green, and purple, right? Which is primary, secondary, and heavy. Mm-hmm. Well, you can have a weapon that's in your first slot that uses secondary ammo, and you can have a weapon that's in your second slot that uses primary ammo. So that doesn't tell you either.
Why?
It's
Yeah.
confusing.
It worked. It was working. It was
Yeah.
perfect.
So at least
I don't want to play Destiny anymore.
You just got to change it.
No,
that was
I'm out.
quick.
by the time you pick it up, and again, the way it works is better. Like your loadouts feel better. Ultimately, like they feel more balanced. The fact that I can have my origin story, which is my favorite assault rifle, in my primary slot. I can have Merciless, which is my favorite exotic weapon, which is a fusion rifle, in my second slot, and I can have my Curtain Call, which is my favorite rocket launcher, in my heavy slot all at once now, which I couldn't do before. Makes me really, really happy.
Was that Eminem CD?
Curtain Call?
Curtain Call?
It was.
I think so.
It
I
was
don't
a
know.
thing.
That is the
Yeah.
difference. I don't have a single gun memorized in the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
So,
for
like,
a second there you were saying
I've
you didn't
played
know all the
with-
Eminem's albums.
Yeah.
I've played with Origin Story and Curtain Call since and Merciless since like the very beginning. Like those weapons have really stuck with me from like vanilla Destiny 2. So there's three of my favorite guns, and I just have held on to them. And that's what will happen. Random rolls are coming back, so like weapons will be different every time. So they'll encourage you to have multiples of the gun and like pick the variations that you want, like back in old Destiny 1. I think that's probably for the best because again, it lets you pick how you play. Whereas before, for a long time, it was if you weren't running with this particular weapon, like Origin Story dominated because there was one spec for Origin Story, and it meant that like there was just like one weapon that was better than other weapons. Period.
Yeah.
Right now, you'll have more variation in that. Like, there'll be more people just not picking one weapon. There'll be more variation inside, like Crucible and stuff like that. Like right now.
So not everyone's running the same weapon in PvP anymore?
Right now they are. Everybody's playing with Graviton Lance, period.
Of course they
Like
are.
the meta is Graviton Lance. If you go into the game and you don't get shot with Graviton Lance, that's a miracle, right? But like right now, like I'm running Sweet Business and Uriel's Gift and my Curtain Call in multiplayer, and I was just fucking dudes up. Because not a lot of people were playing that way, and just high resilience Titan. So I would recommend and Active War Rig to get all that ammos. Do it.
I think I need to do some reading.
Sounds like a lot of reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate games where you have to do homework over, but like I don't know, this game has just had its hooks in me. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
I really am.
Yeah.
Sounded sarcastic, but
I know.
it's not.
Fuck you, Capri.
I'm
You
not.
know
I'm
what?
genuinely happy.
Go back to fucking Edmonton.
I'm not.
Look at that smile on his face, though. Look how genuine he is.
This always happens to be.
Fucking oil boys.
But it's like you're in person and it's still happening to
I know,
you,
it's-
Yeah.
Sean.
I know.
That's
That's
the
my
weird
life.
thing.
That's my life.
So
Trying to
yeah,
be happy for somebody and to make fun of me for it.
that's what's
else.
up.
As we should, as we do on the Game Moves podcast. As for me, I played a couple things. Again, I don't need to talk about World of Warcraft anymore because I've talked about it to death the last month. I will mention, though, the Uldir raid opens this week, and that's going to be like the last thing I do before I take a break for all the big games coming out this fall. That's like the big first raid for the expansion, essentially. It takes place in the Troll Kingdom. They awaken an old god because they're a bunch of dummies, and we have to go kill it. So I'm going to play that once this week, and then I'm going to take a break because Tomb Raider comes out next week. I'm probably not going to play Spider-Man this week. Sorry, Brock. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm playing. Also played The Messenger, as Sean mentioned. I'm loving it so far. I'm not, and there's a section in the game I've heard about. I'm not at that point yet. If you've played it, you know what or read about it, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm liking it so far. It reminds me a lot of Ninja Gaiden, which of course is obvious, and it should. And that's what I love about it. The game is actually really funny. It's got some really funny like dialogue. It really kind of like Cosmic Star Hero, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. But I think the jokes and the writing are actually better written than that game was. So yeah, I'm really liking it so far. I'm only a couple hours in. If you get like 2D action games, action platformers, yeah, go check it out. I think it's really good. It's only on Switch right now, but it's coming to PS4, I think before the end of the year, they said. But yeah.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they announced it like 6 months ago, and I've been hyping it up on the podcast as much as I can in that time frame. Yeah, it's a game it's been on my radar since they announced it, and I've been really excited about it.
See, man.
Yeah. So let's get into the news real quick. We have a couple news stories to talk about. And again, some of these are really surprising, and I want to get y'all's opinions on them. So first up, Shovel Knight King of Cards finally has a fucking release date. After being announced like a year and a half ago, they keep saying, we'll announce a release date soon, and they finally announced it. So April 9th, 2019 is when the game comes out. It'll be the final Shovel Knight expansion. So after this, all the Kickstarter stuff will be fulfilled.
Good God.
And they can finally work on something else. Thankfully. They also announced a Amiibo 3-pack at the end of last year. That's also coming out the same day, so it includes Plague Knight, Spectre Knight, and King Knight as amiibos. It comes out the same day, as well as they announced Shovel Knight Showdown, which is also part of the Kickstarter. It's like a multiplayer only mode for Shovel Knight, where you can fight other Shovel Knights with your Shovel Knight, and it's really weird. You can also play as all the bosses in the fighting mode too, which is going to be interesting. Next up, EA have announced that Battlefield 5 has been delayed from October 12th until November 20th.
Hey
to
guys,
get the fuck out of the way of Call of Duty and Red Dead.
I still have no idea what the fuck that game is.
Really?
Other than like it's set in World War II, maybe with robots.
Well, we'll actually have a better idea of it because there's a closed beta going right now, but an open beta is coming this week.
Robots, robot arms, just cyborgs,
women robots,
lady cyborgs in World War II. Is this like an alternate future, or are they just like
they're being hush hush about the story?
Well, how did they manage to do this where we actually don't? I agree with you. Like we don't really know a whole lot about this, and they had like a whole like dedicated thing to it. Trevor Noah hosted.
Well, again, I think we know a lot about the multiplayer. It's just the single player we really don't know a lot about.
And let me be perfectly clear here. I'm not one of those assholes who's like, there can't be girls in World War II. What the fuck?
No, it's just the robot arms that has you crazy.
It was the really weird anachronistic stuff that really threw me off.
Awesome. That sounds like
it sounds really cool. I just want to know, like,
so weird.
Like, did Albert Einstein go back in time and kill Hitler, and now we have cyborg parts or something?
What kind of fight with that? That would have been like, it'd be a weird fight between those two.
I don't know. That's Red Alert. There's this. That's true.
Wow,
there's a cinematic.
That is Red Alert.
Amazing.
Yeah.
There's a cinematic in Red Alert where Einstein comes out of a crowd and shoots a young Hitler. It's fucking awesome. Yeah. He's like, no, I'm not letting this happen.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a time machine.
Red Alert's a good game.
do.
Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah.
I don't.
But yeah, so Battlefield 5, I'm excited about it because they're bringing back the vignette system from Battlefield 1. So it's going to be 5 short stories. Which I think really worked well for that game, and I'm more excited for that than Call of Duty. But we don't know what the other 4 stories are because the girl with the robot arm thing is only one of the 5. So we don't know what the other 4 stories are even about, or let alone what's going on with it. So, but we knew about as much. We knew about as much about Battlefield 1 before it came out.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking that.
But it had the allure of like, oh, we want to go back in time now. Like we don't want future shooters or anything.
Yeah,
like
especially since we just got Call of Duty World War II last year.
Yeah.
It's tough to be excited about, but I am much more excited about that than Call of Duty since Call of Duty doesn't have single player.
Is this the only first-person shooter that we're getting that has actually a campaign?
This year?
Yeah, like that's like I don't know. Like people talk about like we want first-person shooters.
I just talked about Destiny for 40 minutes.
Because
for me.
Yeah, because Wolfenstein just came out on Switch, and that's like the last great one, and then Doom Eternal comes out next year.
Doom Eternal,
right?
But yeah, like we don't really have another first-person shooter single player to look forward to this year. I don't.
Esports is ruining video games.
Well, I wouldn't say.
Well, because even Fallout is number one not a shooter, but it's close to a shooter. But even that's not single player this time around.
I just get a little antsy when people kind of just shit all over a game just for no reason. Like of course we don't know much about Battlefield 5 and like Battlefield and EA. Everybody's got a problem with, but. Like maybe we should just take it easy on shitting all over this game. Maybe it's good because I'm
just really curious. I just want to know what's going on.
I'm curious as well.
I think we're all optimistic.
I was like every time I started a new vignette, I was like, this is the best character. This is my favorite one. I don't want to leave this one. I would start the next one. I'm like, oh, this is way better. So I want to like remind myself of that style because they just hit it out of the park last time.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it. I just wish they did it, but like I'm the person who they should be like talking to because I love that game.
Yeah,
like. Give me something to be excited about.
Yeah, I think that they just want to keep the single player in the dark for a while. Again, they're trying to avoid what happened with Battlefront, I think, which is part of the problem too. So either way, I still think this is a good move for them because again, launching the week before Call of Duty and 2 weeks before Red Dead is probably a mistake.
I also think it should be like it should be commended for they've been publicly eating humble pie for over a year now, and I think this is just another example. Like even when they were apologizing essentially for like what happened with Battlefront 2, like that didn't launch like we wanted it to. That's not like what we had intended on making people feel about our game. And now they're moving this game out of the way of another one. Like this is a different EA than we've seen in the past. Where they're like Titanfall 2, it's gonna go up against these other games like launching on the exact same day as everything.
It's
else.
Gonna do great.
It'll be fine. Like no, it won't. So I'm I don't know, man. I feel like everybody likes to crap all over EA, so I'll just be like, I got your back, EA.
No, again,
It's okay.
I'm really optimistic that this
I
game's
just
going to be
renewed my
great.
EA access today.
Finally.
I forgot to go get it on sale.
When is someone going to think of the giant multinational conglomerates? You know,
what,
like
man?
they really need someone to stick up for
It's
them.
just like
Dear
Brock
EA.
supporting.
Make Skate
Don't
4.
forget the worst company in America.
Brock is supporting Rockstar. I'm
Yeah.
supporting EA. You know, gotta support the little guys.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm the Activision guy in the room. I don't want to be that guy.
I like Activision.
What are you talking about? I play World of Warcraft. That's also an Activision
like
game.
Fair,
Yeah.
We got 2 Activision boosters on the show right now.
Sweet.
But you and I both played indies this week too.
Yeah,
So the money goes around.
The irony, Activision won't return my calls.
Aw.
Everyone else will talk to me, not
So
Activision. Yeah, I don't know. They're impenetrable.
I haven't been returning Activision's calls at
There you
all.
go. There you go.
I have no interest in playing any of their games.
Not even Call of Duty.
Not a fucking chance. Over my dead body, you'll catch
Really?
me playing Call of Duty after that last horrible one.
Yeah.
But it's
With the one with Josh Duhamel.
Yeah.
Oh god, that one sucked.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
not
I
good.
liked it, guys.
I know
Oh
you
my
like. I know you
gosh,
liked it. I don't know
liked
why. It was painful.
yeah,
to
you
get
and I
through.
are on the same page.
I know, it was good.
I played 10 minutes of that and I was having like an anxiety attack. I was like, this is like so painful. I don't
It's
want to do
so
this.
cheesy.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was being dragged kicking and screaming into another D-Day landing thing. And I was like,
But
I
that
don't
was
want
the
to do
cool
this.
mission.
It was excruciating.
No, we've done that mission 10 other times.
Yep, but
I
not
know.
like
New.
this, Sean.
Medal of Honor did it
Brock.
really, really
Yeah.
well.
I don't know why I called you Sean. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Medal of Honor did it way better.
Like 10 years
Way
ago.
better.
Well, what about Call of Duty 2?
Yeah.
Call of Duty 2 also did it pretty well. too.
Bangalores.
Anyways,
yeah.
let's move on.
Bangalores are the things that blow up the
EA.
Downer.
EA
Fire.
makes Skate
Oh
4.
my God.
Well,
I want
Yeah.
Skate 4.
This one will get you excited
Okay.
because I don't know I don't even know how you feel about this franchise, but we'll talk about it.
Oh, no,
'cause
this
this one's got me excited.
All right. Excited.
Capcom have
Yeah.
announced that Onimusha Warlords is getting an HD remaster.
Yeah.
It will launch on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch on January 15th for $20. That's really cheap.
Why is Sean the target market for this?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think-
I did my best to try and make Sean happy, even though I don't even know how Sean feels about Onimusha.
I think he's
Never
just.
played it.
I think he's
You've
just
never
being
played Onimusha?
inclusive.
I'll take the stance of like I will be happy for anybody. Who's
All right.
for it.
Has anyone else besides me here played Onimusha?
I played Onimusha. I like Onimusha.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Get-
I
get-
knew I'd win someone.
You gotta
over.
get those orbs, man. Get those orbs of
This
different
is
colors.
this is the first time we've seen Onimusha since the late PS2. The last one was on PS2.
Onimusha was one of those games that was like franchise fatigue. They just
Yeah, they
Way
did
too
they did
many.
4 in 4 years,
and it was like,
a bad-
okay,
it was a
time
big
to take a
mistake.
fucking break.
Yeah.
And then they did for
But
a
they
long
didn't.
time.
They need to take a break for like 15 years.
What kind of? I don't even know what kind of game is this.
So it's a third-person action game where you play as a samurai, and it takes place in feudal Japan, and there's like all kinds of cool like fantasy elements to it. It's really cool.
It has some things in common with Resident Evil.
Yeah, because it was originally supposed to be a feudal Japan Resident Evil game.
Yeah, and essentially, so there's a lot of like, you have the crest, you have the piece of the crest.
Yeah.
This must fit into something.
right.
You know, that
Yeah.
kind of shit.
Here's your typewriter ribbon.
Yeah.
Oh, is it
Yeah,
this?
those
Is it the
Japan
first
typewriter.
one that's getting
It
redone?
is the first one.
Oh, that game was dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Onimusha's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a very underrated franchise
Nice.
for
Yeah.
sure. And I know there's a few industry people who've been clamoring for Onimusha to return for years. Colin Moriarty is the one that comes to mind. He's like all that.
Can we not
that
talk
game.
about him?
Yeah,
Well, he's the
my
one
God.
person I know who talks about Onimusha all the time.
He's
okay.
persona non grata.
Anyways, other
he blocked me on Twitter this week for making fun of him.
See? Exactly.
it's gonna be okay, Sean. It's gonna be okay.
Maybe don't support, like xenophobic demagogues and I'll be okay with you.
Anyways,
As you sip your tea.
Anyways, last news story, and this one is just for me, guys. .emu and Sega have announced that Streets of Rage 4 is a fucking game that exists. So it will be.
I couldn't believe how many people were excited for that on
I
Twitter. I'm
can't-
so confused.
I can't fucking wait for Streets of Rage 4. First of all, it's been 24 years since the
For a
last Streets of
reason.
Rage game.
Old.
Yeah.
We talk about they're awesome. They're awesome games.
What I want you to do, Ryan, right now is name 5 beat 'em ups that came out in the last 10 years that were successful.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what came before it. Or, well, in the last 10 years.
I just my point is this: as a genre, beat 'em ups are pretty much dead.
That's true. But there
this
are
is
some,
a real weird thing
so,
to do.
Let's talk about this real quick because this is being developed by Lizard Cube, the same developer behind Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap, the
Finally.
HD remaster. which was also really good.
Which I really liked.
Yeah. I mean, it was our game of our HD remaster of last year. It was on our show. It also features a 2D hand-drawn style, and it looks really cool. But we don't know what platforms it's on or when it's coming out. But yeah,
it can compete against Battletoads.
As someone who plays Streets of Rage like on a monthly basis, where I'll go back and play all 3 Streets of Rage games, like they still really hold up more than any other beat 'em up, more than like Double Dragon or even Turtles, which is very much a quarter muncher. Like Streets of Rage isn't that kind of game. It's very much meant to play at home. So that's why I'm really excited for a new Streets of Rage game. Again,
when are we getting a new Metal Slug game?
I love Metal Slug.
Capcom puts those out all the time.
Oh really?
I will fucking.
There's like 100 of them on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I have 3. 3 is my favorite.
Yeah, they're fun. XX.
Yeah. So I'm really excited that Streets of Rage is coming back. I really hope they do it justice. Again, it could be bad. It could be like Double Dragon 4 and not be good. But again, it's coming from a developer that has done good like retro revivals, and I think that they can do a good job with Streets of Rage if they like keep it similar, but also try and evolve like the formula from Streets of Rage.
Music is key, man.
Yeah, they got to bring back the composer from the first 3 games because his music is absolutely.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Anyways,
what you need is Hagar. Just need Hagar.
That's the wrong franchise.
Sammy Hagar.
That's all. I mean, if you can just put Hagar.
That's
in
Final Fight. That's Capcom.
I know. Just put Hagar in it though. If you're gonna have a beat 'em up.
Put Shovel Knight in them. What the hell?
No, Shovel Knight sucks. Hagar is good.
Madeline has an appearance here.
Shovel Knight does not.
Who's
suck.
Madeline?
From Celeste.
Yeah, she's
Madeline and Badeline.
Yeah, they're coming to Towerfall. It's very exciting.
Actually,
none of these games are beat 'em ups. I'm talking about the king of beat 'em up characters, Mayor Hagar. He's a mayor.
I would argue that Axel from Streets of Rage is the king of beat 'em up characters.
You can argue that. You will not win that argument.
I don't know. The dude has a flaming fist.
Is he a mayor or not?
He doesn't need to
Is
be
he a mayor that fights for vigilante justice?
What about
it sounds like Oliver Queen.
What about the boxing kangaroo from Streets of Rage 3 that was a playable character?
Still not the mayor.
His name, he was a boxing kangaroo, Drew.
If you like the only beat 'em up I want to see again involves Mayor Hagar. I don't care what you do. Just get Hagar back.
But they did a Final Fight like 2 years ago and it was terrible.
He does spinning pile drivers. He is a magic mayor who fights for vigilante justice. He can fly for some reason.
Yo, he's a total dilf. He's so hot.
He's got a really cool mustache.
He's so built.
And he wears overalls with only one strap.
But he also has a belt on, so why does he have the suspenders on?
Shh, you're overthinking this. And also he's trying to rescue his daughter. I love the whole thing is like, don't call the premise of the game is that he's rescuing his daughter and they tell him not to call the police so that they have to get involved. But he's the fucking mayor.
There's a lot of fan fiction about him too.
Oh, I know.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's like one of like the more recognizable Capcom characters.
You mispronounced slash. You mean slash fiction. There's a lot of slash fiction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the daddy of all daddies. He's beat him up.
He lives his best dad.
Wow.
Yeah.
He looks like he could grip a cock.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That escalated very quickly.
If he can do a spinning
show, Sean.
if he can do a spinning pile driver,
All
if he
right.
can do
This is just normal.
he can do a spinning pile driver on a wiener. I don't know. No.
Anyways, let's wrap up with the new releases before we go.
Oh, I played We Happy Few for 6 hours yesterday.
Oh, how'd that go?
I like it.
You like it?
I like it.
Were we talking about the story of the weird survival stuff, or is it the same thing now? I'm really confused as to what that game is.
It's very different from what I played 2 years ago. I don't know why that game was in early access to start.
It's like a weird stealth game.
It's now like a single player. No, it was a survival game at first.
Yeah.
And like an open world survival game.
It was
but
an
now
open world where you had to collect shit and
it's very story based.
I think it's rough, man.
It's pretty rough. Like the controls don't work very well.
Watching Sean on stream trying to sneak around and getting caught from like 50 miles away.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Really? I don't get caught. You never get caught.
Well, at the start for sure. Like I was just like breezing through.
No,
they
they patched it big time.
Oh,
it was fine. Like
in the first week,
it was really weird. I had fun with it. It's like a really poor man's BioShock.
I mean,
that's how they kind of presented themselves. To be fair,
the combat. There's a lot of combat, and the combat's
combat's
terrible.
awful.
And then I wanted to pick up the council. It's on sale right now, but you don't get the first episode for some reason.
Why'd they do that?
I don't know.
It's weird.
It's really weird.
That one.
I want to try it.
That and Vampire. Why are those similar in any way, shape, or form?
No.
I get them I get them confused.
They're just dark.
I honestly don't know the difference.
It's all just dark.
They're from like completely different developers and developed completely differently.
Has anyone played Vampire?
No.
They wouldn't give me a code.
It's just one of
Getting
those
codes
games
for those
I've
guys
had
is like
installed
pulling
forever
teeth.
that I've never played.
Pulling vampire teeth.
Vampire teeth.
Yeah.
Warriors.
Yeah.
I love
The
Don't Nod, but
the
it's like
bicuspids,
the
bicuspids.
studio at Don't Nod that I don't love. So because they made remember, it's the
Vampires have
same
veneers.
part that made remember.
Vampire veneers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just to make it all perfect.
Get the fuck out.
Cubic zirconia ship.
That's
don't,
it.
Don't kick Sean out.
We don't like him anyways.
That's
That's why we have him on the show.
The only one who hasn't given him any shit is Ryan.
Yeah.
Well, of course not.
Stop
Because
it.
Sean and I are on the same wavelengths for a lot of things.
Yeah.
The wrong way.
You guys-
Wrong waves.
That's not true.
Over there, not thinking Mayor
You two
Haggard's the
say that
best.
Sean has bad taste in games all the time, but
Yeah.
Sean and I have similar taste in
Constantly,
games.
yeah.
So
You just
Sean-
feel like we have a few.
Hey, I don't think Sean has bad taste in games. I just think that sometimes Sean makes mistakes.
I love that this is a conversation we're having.
We'll talk
Like,
podcast
Sean-
and go
Sean
back to my
doesn't-
family.
Fly back to Alberta right
Sean
now.
doesn't like Metal Gear, so like I don't know if I can fuck with anything.
Metal
with Sean.
Gear.
We've
Yeah.
had this conversation before.
Yeah.
I just don't. I haven't given it a chance enough to really get it.
Yeah.
I haven't played it and judged it as being a bad game.
No, you told me
I
you were
just haven't
like
gotten into it.
you're like fuck Snake.
Yeah.
Fuck the other snakes. There are too many snakes in
Too
those
many
games.
snakes.
Now,
understand it.
to be
Yeah.
fair, I've played all the Metal Gear games and given it enough time. I still don't know what the fuck's
My
going on.
PSN
now.
name is based off of Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Is that where that
you
comes
wanna,
from?
Do you
Yeah, it
want
does.
to? Do you want to talk about that publicly?
No.
Nope.
No. Okay, fair. So
Eventually, I'll change it.
here's a good question for you. If
One
it's,
day.
One day.
if it's Solid Snake and Liquid Snake,
Yeah.
and there's a third snake, what would he be?
Awesome.
But there are
Awesome
three
snake.
snakes,
Awesome
though.
Snake.
Yeah. That's where it comes from.
So
Yeah,
it's
it's
Solid
like
Snake, Liquid Snake, Awesome Snake.
But
yeah, that's essentially.
but
my
there's
PSN
already
name.
a third snake. That precedent from Metal
That's
Gear
what I'm
2.
talking. I'm trying to get him to say what do you think logically?
Like gas.
Gaseous
Oh,
snake,
gaseous
right?
Gaseous snake?
Which sounds really dumb. No, Solidus.
Solidus.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's Solidus Snake.
But what about Fat Man? Can we talk about Fat Man for a second?
Yeah.
Like the nuke on Fallout.
No, Fat Man, the
Fat Boy?
boss
That's Fat
in
Boy.
Metal Gear 2.
Yeah, Fat Man
He
is the
rolled
boss
around
man.
on roller skates and he's like, laugh and grow fat, and he threw bombs at you.
Yeah,
Sweet.
it was a reference to the code name for the first bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima.
What
Right.
about Decoy Octopus?
That
Can we
was
get into Decoy Octopus for a second?
Fat Man and Little Boy.
See, I want to watch somebody else play it. I just don't get the controls.
I'll just pull all the Metal Gear games I have off the
Sweet.
shelf, Sean.
Yeah.
We'll play
Sweet.
them. We'll play them all in a row. We'll make you understand.
Don't
I'm just bad at it.
like play 3, but like don't
Mm.
like
One day.
just I don't know. You can when the games got to the point where they had like 45-minute codec conversations, I was like, I can't fucking play this
See, why are you allowed to trash talk it?
because I played through them all.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I did suffer through the 45-minute codec conversations.
What
but,
about the hour-and-a-half long cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 4?
That was the game that made me buy a PS3, and
Yeah.
I never played it.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking about
bought it
4.
full price.
4 is the one that has all the codec conversations
Yeah.
and the.
But it also
the
has
cutscenes.
hour-and-a-half cutscenes that you can't skip.
Yeah. Well, you can skip them now. They
Oh, they patched them?
They patched that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, because I remember playing it at launch and you couldn't skip this one.
Remember, it was one of the
Whereas,
first
like,
games that PS3 games that you had to install as well. You had to watch Snake smoke for like 15 minutes.
Mhm.
It was really, really painful.
Yeah. But then the game would give you all kinds of tips of like, make sure to take breaks every 30 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. I was telling somebody about that
Can't even watch
recently.
a cutscene.
It's true.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's wrap up with new releases before we go, like we tried to 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man comes out this week.
Yeah.
Destiny 2 Forsaken comes out this week.
It comes out on Tuesday.
Dragon Quest 11 Echoes of an Elusive Age comes out this week.
Get those slimes.
It's one of those games where I want to play it, but I know I'm going to wait till after the fall season to jump into that. SNK Heroines Tag Team Fury comes out this week. That's the SNK game with all those girls. It's girls only, and there's a female version of a male character in this game. It's very exciting. NBA Live 19 comes out this week. There's EA still doing it.
Mhm.
They're still making NBA Live games. I played the demo for this.
You can play as a women's team on that too.
You can.
That was awesome on FIFA actually. When they brought that over to FIFA, that was sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be good in basketball.
When are they going to finally bring in the female hockey players to NHL, Sean?
When it's 1992 and the Tampa Bay Lightning have a female goaltender.
To be fair, you could always create your own female player in
Mhm.
NHL until last year when they removed that feature.
Her name is Brockala.
Yeah.
Broccoli.
Brockel.
Brockette.
Brockette.
The Brockettes.
The Brockettes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Brockettes.
They're a good band.
Yeah.
Brock and the Brockettes.
Yeah.
We brock hard, man.
Brock
Yeah.
hard. Hyperlight Drifter comes to Switch this week. Gone Home comes to Switch this week.
All right, I gotta buy like 40 games on the Switch this week.
Into the Breach comes to Switch this week.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's. I mean, there's actually like a list of like almost 100 games that came out this week. But these are like the highlights.
Is Gone Home on VR? Gone Home should be a VR game.
No.
Why are those not like the
Because
main
Fulbright's a
games
small
on VR?
studio.
Yeah, and
No,
that shit costs a lot of money.
Yeah, no, that should be a VR game.
Yeah.
They all the developers at Fulbright too, little known secret, all make their own games too when they're not making games at Fulbright. So like they make a whole bunch of little games, so that like that's all the time that they would use to make a VR version.
Am I allowed to like Gone Home here?
Yeah, I like Gone
okay?
Home. I love that game.
I like
Gone
it.
Home's not a video game.
Oh, okay.
It's for losers.
Oh, okay.
All right,
It's for libtards.
Drew, you can get the fuck out of
I'd
here.
be facetious for a second.
No,
I thought Gone Home was
I
okay.
thought it was good.
Yeah.
That was okay.
I don't think it deserved the vitriol that it got, where basically people played it and went, "Oh, this is like more of an adventure game and not the gameplay experience that I was expecting." And it's got the gays in it, so also I hate that. So shut it down.
Yeah.
So for that reason, you can't have a dissenting opinion on that game because then you just get lumped in with those assholes.
Mm-hmm.
But the short answer is, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I
it's
don't
an
think
experience. Like once
Yeah.
you experience it once, like that gives you like that emotional experience, and then you don't really go back to it. It's kind of like Journey. Journey's one of those games where I won't go back and replay. 'Cause
Journey, I don't get.
It was special the first time.
I like Journey.
I don't get it.
Journey's very replayable. I will tell you this: that Griffin's speedrun of Gone Home is probably one of the best pieces of content on the internet.
You can finish the game in under a minute.
Griffin
Yeah.
McElroy.
You do have
No,
to
no, like it's better than that. It's not like taking shortcuts. It's just trying to do all the stupid things and making fun of speedruns in a very funny.
The whole
meta way.
time I thought something was gonna like happen,
like a monster would jump out at you or something. Yeah.
and then once I got past that, I was like, oh, this isn't very fun.
So like that would be awesome if someone was smart enough to play the long game like that. Like do a game like that has sort of like the atmosphere of PT, but like the ghost. Like there's all these, like the ghost doesn't come until like way late in the game and just messes with you, right? That'd be great. There's so much potential for
Carter. Play that.
So much potential for
Vanishing
PT.
Ethan Carter had kind of
I haven't played
some
that.
spookiness to it.
I like Vanishing
good.
Ethan Carter
Yeah,
more.
very good.
It was really weird.
I thought I was kind of done with those games, Walking Sims, and I played that. I'm like, okay, there's other things to do here.
I play walking sims all the time because I'm
Yeah.
so high.
I know.
Great.
I like
Life.
I play Walking Sims. It's called my life.
Just walking down the street and seeing like these silhouette characters having conversations.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You don't?
Yeah, no. Tacoma's
I
good too.
do.
I like Tacoma.
Oh, Tacoma's a piece of shit.
Oh,
On a stick.
God.
That game fucking
I
sucked.
like
Tacoma
space.
did not go well.
I
No,
like space
it
a
was
lot.
so glitchy.
I like
Once
space.
again, Sean and I are on the same page. What is
my
with
gosh.
this?
I did not like Tacoma.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't.
All right, we
Get us
should.
outta here.
We got to wrap it up because you guys got to get going. Before we go,
I'm
Drew,
so
let's go.
sweaty.
I'm at Tim McMillan on Twitter and go to game-moose.com. Pick up the podcast on Google Play Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Check out our Instagram, search for Game Moose on Instagram, and you'll find us. Post a bunch of stuff from Fan Expo, and look forward to things like cosplay gallery and stuff coming to the webpage soon, as well as my interview with Clemens Koch about Hitman 2, and go watch the archive of my stream on Xbox Canada on the
good
Mixer
lord,
page.
there's so many things.
I did a lot of things this week. It was a busy week.
Sean, where can people find you?
Fewer things. You can find me in Canada, but on the internet, I'm Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. What? It sounded weird in person.
Yeah,
To
it's-
somebody.
Yeah.
Because also,
Strange.
I was gonna do that when I was gonna introduce you, but then it like kind of broke my brain in person for some reason.
Yeah, it just did that to me too. You can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Sean Capri.
Were you now officially an affiliate? We have to congratulate them.
Affiliate,
Yay.
Yay. Thank you everybody for supporting. and
Everyone can
following.
go sub to Sean Capri so we can
Yeah,
get
give
cool
me
emotes.
your free like your Amazon Prime free sub. That would be really awesome if
Yeah.
you did that.
When's your emotes coming?
I think like they're already kind of happening.
Oh,
So,
they're already you already submitted them?
Yeah, so we'll have those very very soon.
Nice.
Maybe I'll just have a Brock face. That was my very first one.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
I don't see why you wouldn't do that.
I think that's gonna happen.
Are you sure you don't want to just have like words that just say Brock hard and then people can just spam that in the chat?
I'll leave that for like that'll be a next tier goal.
Oh, okay.
You should really do this.
Yeah, I
Very
wanna
marketable
just
ideas.
dangle the carrot a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about your other podcast, the Xbox Drive?
Yes, the Xbox Drive is probably the most fun podcast that I do in real life. I drive my car to work, actually home from work now, and we talk about Xbox with my good friend Luke Lore.
Yeah.
The new host, and
Mixer.com/InStepidGhost.
He plays games, so it's hard to actually like wrap the show within the half an hour that we want it to be. So I end up just like parking outside of my house and trying to explain to my wife why I'm just sitting there like a creeper in front of our driveway. But it's awesome, man. That is such a fun show. The Xbox Drive, you should definitely check out. I have other stuff, but we'll focus on that. Not
cool.
like Drew had all the plugs. So the Xbox Drive is it for me.
Well, Brock also has plugs. So Brock, where can people find you?
You can find me online, Brock McLaughlin on Twitter, or BrockstarGaming.com. I have Spider-Man review on Tuesday. Why are you giving me that? What are you doing?
He's
that
waiting for it.
He said .com weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a...
On Wednesday, the Iron Fist review goes up for the new season, and Thursday, the new season of BoJack review goes up.
Ooh.
So I have all three of those. Yeah.
Sweet.
That's it. You can, and then find me on Fortnite. Just fucking add me. I need more squads.
Get them V-Bucks.
Fortnite.
I don't know why you don't play Fortnite.
Brock
It's so good.
on all the platforms.
Yes.
You play Fortnite on Xbox?
I play on Xbox and PC.
I'll play on Xbox once and then yell at the game and then never play again.
Yeah,
Why?
same here.
It's so good. You guys haven't played it. It's
Because-
changed, man.
I like it.
I'm
I like it.
I'm an old man and I can't play with
When I
the youth.
played
50
it-
versus 50s is the best.
When I played it when it first came out, I played it so much that it burnt me out. Like I played like 100 hours of that game in a month period. So I'm done. I'm done with Fortnite. And as for me, you can find me on Twitter at Ryan Turford. That's TURFORD. Again, you can find us on Twitter at game_moose_cast, on Facebook at facebook.com/GameMoosePodcast, and podcast services around the globe. Anyways, for Drew McMillan, Sean Capri, Brock McLaughlin, I'm Ryan Turford. This has been episode 137 of the Game Moose Podcast, and we're out.